December 1941. In a 6-month blitzkrieg campaign, the Wehrmacht has blasted its way through the Western Soviet Union. German troops approach the outskirts of Moscow, less than 20 miles from the city. Along the road to the Soviet capital, hundreds of thousands of Red Army soldiers have perished, killed in action. More than 1 million are wounded. Whole armies have been taken prisoner by the Germans. Stalin's empire is on its knees. The nightmare began just 6 months earlier, on the morning of the 21st of June. For Soviet citizens, the dawn of just another day. Yet along a line stretching from the Baltic to the Black Sea, 3 million German soldiers are moving into position, awaiting the Führer's order to launch Operation Barbarossa. The most brutal conflict between two nations in recorded history is about to begin. And yet, the citizens of Moscow and Leningrad awake in blissful ignorance, unaware that today will be the last day of peace. But Zhukov and Timoshenko, Stalin's senior commanders, are nervous. From the frontier, they receive intelligence reports heavy with menace of a German invasion. At midday, they request an emergency meeting with Stalin at the Kremlin. They beg him to allow them to issue a border alert to all Red Army formations. Stalin refuses his general's request. He cannot believe that his new ally Hitler is about to betray him. All through that evening, he accuses Zhukov and Timoshenko of panic and insists that there will be no invasion. But Stalin is wrong. On the Soviet Union's western border, in the early hours of the morning of the 22nd of June, the silence is broken by the sounds of the invader. Three million German troops and thousands of tanks storm the entire length of the frontier. At their headquarters in Moscow, first reports of the invasion confirm the general's worst fears. Zhukov immediately telephones Stalin at his dacha outside Moscow. In his memoirs, Zhukov recalls the moment. No one picks up the telephone. I let it ring. After about 3 minutes, the duty officer answers. After a long wait, Stalin comes on the line. I report the situation and ask for permission to return fire. Stalin says nothing. I only hear the sound of breathing. Have you understood me? Again, silence. A stunned and speechless Stalin allows vital hours to pass. He orders his military commanders to meet him at the Kremlin, but he refuses to give the order for the Red Army to return fire. Meanwhile, the Germans are bombing Soviet cities and killing Soviet citizens. Panzer units sweeping east are already deep inside Soviet territory. Chaos multiplies the catastrophe. Without orders from the Kremlin, Red Army field commanders lose control of their units. Dazed, cut off, surrounded, thousands of Soviet soldiers surrender. One hour after the first reports of the invasion reach Moscow, Stalin meets Zhukov and Timoshenko in his office at the Kremlin. Still, he refuses to allow Soviet troops to open fire on the enemy. He is adamant that reports of the invasion are untrue, or if they are true, that the attack is an act of provocation organized without Hitler's consent. Foreign Minister Molotov is instructed to find out, is this really war? Only when Molotov confirms foreign press reports does Stalin finally give the order to fire on the Nazi invader. An old soldier, Vyacheslav Semyonov, remembers the confusion in the first hours of the war.
They started bombing Minsk. We were stationed 7 kilometers from Minsk.